Before we start today's video on my 1990 non-intercooled 12 valve, I want to show you guys some things that I've been doing to my 2001 24 valve. So I had an extra one of these cross members and I had Caitlin powder coat it here at Iron Ape Coatings and Fab, and it came out slick as all get out. There is the original one looking gross. The reason why I switched it out was because the original owner, that broke on there and they welded it up and it just looks terrible. It's not going to look good white when I have the wrap, because once you open this up, you're going to see, you know, white. So I had her powder coat this black just to make it look better than white once the truck is wrapped in metallic dark gray. So now that I'm seeing that this looks so slick being black, I was going to go ahead and I was going to paint this black. I think I still am going to be painting this black with spray paint. But as far as a cross member, that can fit in the oven. I feel like since that's gloss black, it looks so sick, I'm going to have to take this cross member out right here. Goes all along the bottom of the intercooler. I think I'm just going to have to take this off, sand it down. It won't fit in the sandblaster. And have her powder coat that black as well. I think this will come off, this triangle piece right here on both sides will come off. And I'll have her powder coat that. But I think I'm going to have to take it off and have it powder coated as well. I mean, we got the cross member out. I might as well take the fenders off as well. That one wasn't as hard as I thought it was going to be to get out. Man, that fender looks terrible. Yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here it is. The old second gen without the fenders on it, without the front cross member, all that stuff on the front. So, to give you guys a quick little runaround of what is going on right here, I know it looks crazy. I know that I probably will never be able to get the fitment right and the body line straight back together on this truck. But let's tell you what I'm going to be doing, why I took the fenders off. So we have a lot of powder to do. The powder coating, you guys saw this, man, it looks super sick. I just had to start taking stuff apart and we're gonna be powder coating it gloss black. So the first thing that we're gonna be doing is these, wouldn't call them body mounts. It's more like a cross member mount. It basically just fits right there. They were old and gross. We're gonna be powder coating those black as well. We got 2 of those. Another thing that we're gonna be coating in gloss black are these pieces right here. So If you guys know what that is where the stock air box usually pulls air from. So those pieces fit up right here. They go about this far, and it just basically helps support the fender. It's on both sides. So that is gonna go gloss black as well. But another thing that we are gonna be powder coating, you guys are probably gonna be like, what the heck, you are crazy. Well, we are gonna be powder coating part of the fenders. So hear me out. So as you can tell, dude, this fender is disgusting. It's gonna take a lot of work, a lot of prep work to be able to get this to where it needs to be to get ready to powder coat. But my idea for this, okay, so the inside obviously is white. The outside is white, and inside the fender is white. So since, oh, that cross member, that goes, it's like a U-shaped, sitting over there. That's gonna get powder coated black as well. But since, you know, this cross member is gonna be black, that cross member is gonna be black, and these pieces right here that hold the fender are gonna be black, I might as well clean this. I probably won't paint the firewall or anything. I may paint this down here, not sure. But I'm thinking I'm gonna clean those fenders up. I'm gonna paint on the inside of the engine bay part. I'm gonna have Caitlin powder coat it black. And then on the actual wheel well, on the outside where the tire is, I'm gonna have her coat that black as well. So the reasoning behind that is I was gonna spray paint it black, but rock chips, spray paint isn't that tough. Powder coat, a whole lot harder than spray paint. So that's my reasoning. I'm gonna have her powder coat the inside, and then the engine bay side, I'm gonna have her coat it as well. And then it will just stay white on the outside actual fender part because that's gonna get wrapped. It doesn't need to be powder coated. It'll just be a waste of powder. So I'll be doing that on both sides. So that way it kind of makes the engine bay look a little bit more. It's still gonna look bad because, oh man, there's so much dirt and grease and stuff in here. It's hard to make all this look good when the engine's still in here. Like if the engine was taken out, it would be no problem to get all that clean, but the engine's in there, obviously. So all that powder coating, so we got cross member mount, the inside fender where the tire goes. I'll probably have her coat this body line right here, so that when I do wrap it, I'll curve it around, you know, all this stuff. Or if I just do where the hood goes, it'll be black underneath and it won't be white. That part, and then I kind of want to respray this intercooler, but that's just a lot more work that needs to be done. That would get spray painted. But I feel like I'm a little in over my head with this. I've never taken apart the fenders on a second gen before. So, and also another reason why I took the fenders off is it's gonna give me a lot more room to do the axle swap. If you guys are new to the channel and watching one of my videos for the first time, we are doing a 4-wheel drive axle swap on this truck. I just did an MV4500 swap on it, and that transmission, I got it with the transfer case. So this truck was 2-wheel drive. I've got a transfer case under there right now, and we are basically ready to go, get started on this thing, but the coilovers haven't came in yet, so I haven't taken a torch and cut any of this stuff off yet. But as soon as those coilovers get in here, I've already got the long arm bracket designed. I may show you that in this video, I'm not sure. I spent like 6 hours designing it on Fusion 360. So we'll be good to go with that. And then I just got to buy metal and start putting everything together. It should flow pretty good after all those parts come in. But I think that was enough of the second gen update. Just a lot of stuff going on. So now let's go ahead and hop right into the 1990 non-intercooled 12 valve. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully you enjoyed that second gen content at the beginning of this video. I am super excited, and hopefully you guys are too. Hopefully I can get the fenders back on perfectly aligned, because when I put the fenders back on this truck, this one looks pretty good. The door opens, nothing hits, looks pretty aligned. But this side was a little bit challenging. I think this fender got bent a little bit, and it just won't line up just right. Hit right there. And that's what I'm afraid of with the second gen. But there really wasn't too much. Like on this truck, there's alignment, or there's like shims that go in here that lift the fender and all that stuff. Not sure, I completely forgot how many were in each spot when I took the fenders off, which this side is good. It's just the passenger side. I was working on it for like 30 minutes trying to get this thing aligned. Wasn't going as planned. But with that, I got the whole wire. That's the whole wiring harness for the whole truck. At least for the engine bay. We're gonna be getting rid of a lot of the wires on here, so I thought I'd take it off, and then I can redo this whole wiring harness and then put it back in the truck with only the accessories that we need, which is pretty much gonna be headlights, fuel shut off, which I will probably run that to a different switch into the cab, because I made that switch panel. If you guys have seen the other videos, I made this switch panel for a push to start, fuel shut off, and some other switches that will go in there. But we will have to put that main wiring harness back in, so I can still have the speedometer, oil pressure, and all that stuff on the dash as well. But we'll take off all the unnecessary stuff that we don't need, like for the grid heater, the AC line, or the AC wires, and just everything that doesn't need to be in there. I'm not putting it back in there because this engine bay was a complete mess with wires ran everywhere, and it just looks bad, so I want to clean it all up. But as you can see, I have a drill, a 4-inch hole saw, and then just the bit for the hole saw. We're gonna be drilling a hole in this hood so that the hood can actually shut, and we're gonna be riveting on for now, probably like 2 rivets on this, because I'll have to take it off when we do the wrap. So, but we'll get this hood stack on, which will be freaking sweet. Let's go ahead. I got a piece of vinyl that I put face down on here. I shut the hood, and then I marked, or I cut where the center should be. So hopefully when I cut this, it will all be lined up. And if not, then I'm probably gonna ruin this perfectly good hood. But let's go ahead and try it, and hopefully we get it right on the first try. So what I think I'm gonna do is, since I have the center hole kind of punched out right there, I'm gonna just drill with the drill bit up through here. Once it goes through the hood, I'm gonna loosen this, drop this down so I can actually shut the hood, and then I'll go from the top down, and we'll do it that way. No going back. Drill ain't got no juice. Got no juice in it. Ah, that's hot. Through the top of the hood. Now we just have to drill through the cross member. So I know you guys have seen me mess with these injectors so many different times now. When I was trying to get this truck started, I stole injectors off of Brennan's truck. I took mine off. Well, I went ahead, took these things apart. These are my stock injectors that came out of this truck. They were stuck. I took them apart, cleaned them, and then Ed helped me pop test them. They all pop tested between 27 to 2900 PSI, which these are supposed to pop at 245 bar, which is about 3500 PSI. Well, I didn't have them totally torqued down when we did that test, so it could have just been leaking a little bit That's why I didn't pop at 3,500 PSI. I'm not sure how old these injectors are, if they're even the stock injectors that came on this truck, 1990. Spring inside these injectors just could be, you know, tired out, but they all popped around kind of the same PSI. So none of them were extremely low and none of them were extremely high. They're all in that, you know, 300 PSI range of each other. You know, some popped at 2,700 RPM and some popped at 2,900 RPM, but they're all in that 300 PSI range. So I'm pretty confident that these injectors are gonna work. Once again, that's what's nice about mechanical injectors, is literally there's 1, 2, 3. There's 3 main parts of it on the inside, and you got a couple shims in there. So there's not much to them. I torqued these down to 22 foot-pounds. That's what it called for. That's what people were torquing them at. So I'm gonna go ahead and change these out. You guys have seen me do it multiple times, so I'm not gonna show you. So let's get these in. So yeah, this happened. Typical August day in Alabama, it rains. So it started raining on me. I was just getting ready to put the fuel lines on, so we're almost done. But we gotta wait for this rain to pass up. Probably working on it tomorrow because it's already 7:30 and it's about to get dark. See you tomorrow. We are back in the morning. I came out here at like 2:30 a.m. because I was bored, I could not sleep. And I finished the injectors up. Wasn't too hard, super easy. I've done it a bunch of times just on this motor right here. But let's hook up the fuel pump, the battery, and the starter button, and we'll bleed these lines out and see if these injectors will fire after they were stuck for I don't know how long. They did not want to fire, and that's why I had to put the other injectors in. But let's see if cleaning these and pop testing them will make them run in the truck. She'll start. All right, guys, remind me to never mess with old injectors when I think that I can get them to work. You know, I just did this just for fun, so it's not really too big of a deal that they're not working. It started up, and then I went to crack the injector line to bleed some of the air out because it was running kind of rough, and it doesn't want to start now. So I don't know. I'm gonna go ahead and order new injectors or get new injectors on order. I got to bring those back to Brennan, so that's why I took them out. So it wasn't too big of a deal to try these. I thought they were gonna work. Maybe I just got some more air still stuck in them lines, but since we are gonna be not leaving this engine stock, we might as well. I just don't want to get injectors yet because I don't know what kind of turbo I'm gonna get. I want to get a set of injectors that are gonna match what kind of turbo setup I want to do. We are gonna intercool this thing, so my plan is to get a water to air intercooler, and we're gonna put it in this corner somewhere over here. We'll build a custom pipe that goes to the intake horn. We'll get rid of this and build a custom aluminum one that will go to the intercooler. We'll have the intercooler inlet coming straight to the turbo. So we'll get rid of this turbo, get a different turbo, and we'll do that setup like that. Instead of putting the intercooler in the front, we'll have it back over here. We'll probably have to redesign this hood stack, but we'll still make it come out this same hole. We'll probably just have to turn it this way and make it come more towards the front of the truck and then go back to where the hole's at, because I didn't think about that when I cut that hole. So we're kind of stuck with that hole right there, but it's not too big of a deal. You can always redesign that hood stack and still make that work. So I reckon that on the first gen, there's really not much I can do right now leading up to the chain of events that are about to happen. You guys will see that. So we're dead in the water right there. I'm not gonna work on it until after the next couple of videos. But I left the other day, I'd gotten these parts ready to go, ready to be powder coated, and Chase powder coated them. So we have those two that I showed you earlier in this video. These two pieces that help support the fender, the body mounts or cross member mount things, so those are good to go. And then we have the whole cross member. Let's pull this out so you can actually see. The cross member came out slick, boy. Dang, son. So right here, you can tell it's a little wavy. So this truck was obviously in some sort of wreck, because you guys know that there was like a 1/4 inch of Bondo. There's still Bondo all over the truck, but there's like a 1/4 inch of Bondo on the bed. And then when I took this cross member out and started sanding it down, I couldn't sandblast it. They don't have the big sandblaster set up right now. And this obviously won't fit in the small sandblast cabinet. So I pretty much had to hand sand down this whole cross member. And when I was sanding right here, there was probably a good 16th inch of Bondo, maybe an 1/8 inch worth of Bondo on here. So there was a big dent in this cross member. So what I did was I took a piece of sheet metal, fit it in right here, and welded it up and ground it smooth. It looks a little wavy, but it's not too bad. I'm gonna go ahead and open this door up and we can actually get these on the truck right now. We'll grab these. Dang, son. Like a freaking jet black piano, boys. I already got fingerprints all over it. Dang. Probably gonna take these rubber pieces and clean them, but man, that looks so much better than what it used to look like. So here are the parts that got powder coated right here. They're just not even bolted in. They're just, bolts are in there, not tight at all, because I need to adjust it. This, I think, is where you're gonna get your adjustment for your fender, which you can see where the line is of where the old paint was. And yeah, you get different bolts, but for now, it works. I didn't decide to put this cross member on yet because I didn't notice this when I took it off. It didn't have the bottom mounting pucks when I took this thing off, so I gotta find them. I think they're at the house. There was a bunch in the bed of this truck when I first got it. Some of them were body mounts and I guess 2 of them were for this. I went to go put them on the body mounts and they didn't want to fit. So I think 2 of them were for this. I think I have them at my house. I'm not sure, so I'm not putting this cross member in yet, but that is all we got powder coated. I still have to strip that and sandblast it. Then we'll be able to powder coat that black too. But there is the powder coated parts for the 2nd gen. Still need to work on the fenders, but you guys will see here in the next coming videos that I won't be able to do this right now, but that's all right. We'll do it when we come back. But anyway, guys, thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more videos. So the truck actually fired up on the injectors, the original injectors that I took out of this truck. They were gummed up before, and I went ahead and took some injectors from Brennan's truck, like I said, put them in here, got the truck running. We actually moved it. I cleaned the original injectors, pop tested them, and I couldn't get it to start the other day. I just came out here, and as you can see from the video, you can hear from the video that 1 or 2 of these injectors aren't firing. You can see how much shake this motor has because one of them's not firing. So you can definitely hear and see that we need to get new injectors. I wanted to test this out. That might just be for me bleeding. There's so much fuel everywhere, but we definitely need to get new injectors. There's no doubt about that. You can see how much shake this motor has. So these injectors, who wants stock injectors anyway? But you can see it's bubbling up from that injector right there. It was bubbling up from there, and though that one doesn't have a dust cover, and that one does, I don't know why it's not sealing. This one, you can see fuel coming through. It's just, these injectors aren't worth trying to deal with. So we are gonna get some new injectors, but I figured I'd give you guys an update on the injector situation since I kind of went back to the 2nd gen and showed you guys the powder coating. So if you guys are new to this channel and you like diesel content, 12 valve content, 24 valve, 1st gen, 2nd gen content, it's definitely the right place to be. So hit the subscribe button if you guys are new. Definitely helps out a lot. Really appreciate it. And we'll catch you guys in the next one. Dippin' Diesel out.